Now, let me show you this really cool trick to do an HDR panorama just in Lightroom.
One thing that I love to do is to revisit some of my old RAW files, and that's the beauty of RAW files. For example, I shot this series of RAW files 6 years ago, I think April 2010, with a Canon 5D Mark II and 50mm 1.8. I was trying to do an HDR panorama. And what is crazy today is because of Lightroom CC and how it has, been bettered over the years, the different releases. Now we can do it as a RAW file, which is completely crazy. I used to be able to do HDR pano. I used to do all my HDRs one by one and then do a pano at the end. Now this is a complete new workflow and it's kind of crazy. Before we get started, I just want to remind you that if you go to my website, to my gear page here, you can get 15% off the Adobe Creative Cloud, the full Creative Cloud, all the software, or you can get 20% off Photoshop and Lightroom. Really cool stuff. Check it out. All right, so here I am. This is a crazy HDR panorama. This is how it goes. This is photo number 1. So that's a normal under and overexposure of the Louvre in Paris. Okay, and then basically, if you can see here, these 3 photos have a green color. I've organized it this way by selecting all 3, going here to color label, putting them green. All right. What I did then, you see this photo is basically the same than this 3 photo, except it's got this HDR extension. And it's actually an HDR version of the 3 photos. So how do you create that? Well, you select all 3 photos, you right click, and you have this new option in photo merge here, and you have the possibility to create HDR. The way it works is that it's going to combine the 3 RAW files into one super big RAW file that's going to have all the information. Now, it's a very natural way of doing HDR. It's not like using Aurora or Photomatics, which give a special look, which I love. I love the Aurora look of HDR, but it's still a kind of a cool look. So make sure that you at least have auto align. I do not use auto tone, and the ghost amount on this one I've put to none. The ghosting you would use if you have leaf or things moving. I do have people moving, but in this one I've used none. So I'm not going to click on merge because I've already done it and it's here. That is this one file. If you right click and you go to show in Finder, you will see that this photo is a RAW file, a DNG file that is 10 megapixels. That's his size. Now, if you right click on the DNG file and you go to show in Finder, you will see this one is now 52 megs because it's got all 3 exposures, the normal, under, and over. So I did that for this first photo. Okay, that's this one, and I gave it a red color. And then this is the second photo. So 1, 2, 3. This is the red one is the HDR. Then 1, 2, 3. The red one is the HDR. I prepared this for you so it will go faster. Then 1, 2, 3. I'm actually going to give you all these RAW files. You're talking, I don't know, 16 RAW files. I'm going to give them for free if you subscribe to my website and you go on the YouTube video and you click on the description. There, you can get these RAW files for free and you can try it for yourself. Okay, so you have some nice photos from Paris. So this is the RAW file. Okay, and then again 1, 2, 3, and the fourth one is the RAW file. And you see, and the last one is 1, 2, 3, and then this is the RAW file. So now if I filter this collection with the red color, I only get the HDR photos. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 HDR. Now, where it gets crazy is this. I'm going to select the 6 HDR. I'm going to right click. I'm going to go back to photo merge, but this time I'm going to take panorama. And so, and I have not yet retouched any of the files. All the information is there. Now, what's kind of weird, and I don't know if it's a bug or not, and you will see later, is that you get an error message, but you can override it and it still works. And I've actually tried it and it works. You will see what I mean. So we have different projections when you do panorama. You've got spherical. Now, I don't like spherical because you see how the Louvre is becoming completely rounded here. I don't like that. Then you have cylindrical, which is going to be the same thing. The Louvre is going to be completely rounded. I don't like that either. And then we have perspective. Now perspective, it's kind of weird because now the louve is straight, but it's tilting down. But I'm going to just check that option because when you shoot, and this is an advice, when you shoot at 50 millimeter and higher, like 60, 70, you're really zooming in and you're doing a pano, try to go for perspective. You get usually the best result. Okay, I'm going to cancel this because I've already done it. It takes forever. It's a big panorama. Look at the size of this thing. 14,471 by 6,505 pixel. It's a huge file. This can make a huge print. But this is a hidden, basically. It's an HDR panorama. If I right click on it and I go show in Finder, you will see it's 217 megs because it basically has 8 files plus 3 times exposure. So it's 24 raw file in one file. And now I'm ready to retouch. So I can go to the develop module. Now, just as a warning, as you start retouching in, you might get an error message. This time I'm not getting it, but sometimes you'll get an error message saying that this file seems to be damaged. I don't get it this time. Oh, here it is. The image appears to be damaged. I guess, I don't know, Lightroom doesn't like super, I don't know if it's a bug or not, but I've been able to actually finish this photo and have it in Photoshop, and it just works. I don't know why this message is here, but you will see. So I'm going to do my usual workflow. I'm going to open up the shadows. I'm going to bring down the exposure a little bit because I have so much data to work with. I got huge data to work with. So I'm going to do my blacks, and I'm going to do my white. But you see, it comes really nice because I have all this hidden information in the raw file. Okay, so that's kind of cool. Maybe add a bit of contrast. Maybe just make it a little tiny brighter. Something like this. Now, let's take care of the perspective problem. The best, I can try to go into auto. No, not doing a good job. So I'm going to use this new option that came out a few weeks ago, the guided lines. I love this action. So I click here, and I'm going to use the lamp as a guide. So I'm going to do a guide in the middle of the lamp. Nothing's happening so far. And now I'm going to do a guide here, for example. And it's only when you let go the second guide that it's going to do something. Boom. And it did something. And you can, I can make it like this. You can change it a little bit and just move it a little bit and see how you like it the best. I kind of like it that way. I actually want this to be pretty straight. And voila. I like it this way. Okay, now we're missing a lot of information, so I'm going to crop the image. I'm going to crop the image here. I'm going to crop the image. I like these 2 lamps. I'm going to leave this here. And maybe crop these 2 people out. Crop this out. But I have an issue. I'm missing some sky here. I need the sky here. So for this, I'm going to go into Photoshop. And I'm going to edit in Photoshop CC 2015-5 because that's the latest version. And you see it says the image appears to be damaged, but when you go out of Lightroom and you go into the world of Photoshop, you've made it. The file is now in the world of Photoshop, and from there on I can print it, I can do whatever I want with it. And you will see the file will actually get there. So I don't know why I have this error message. It's there. If I go to image size, you'll see the size is huge. It's 12,000 pixels because I cropped it. It was 14, now it's 12. Okay. And for the next step, I'm actually going to speed things up, I'm going to make this a 5,000 pixel size. The reason is I don't want it to take forever for what I'm going to do next. But it's still a very big image. All right, so here is the different layers. I'm going to put this on its own layer here. And I want to correct this. I want to add the sky. I've shown this over and over in different tutorials, but let me re-show it to you again. There's a bit of a trick here. You have to take the, here, this one, the magic wand tool. You click one time to select this part which is missing, and then you have to go, very important, to selection, modified, expand. You're going to expand it to 20 pixel, which is pretty good, 20 pixel, because if you don't do it, you're going to get a little edge here once I do the next thing, because the next thing is to go to edit, fill, and I'm going to fill it with content aware. And content aware is going to try to, boom, Command D to undo, and it's going to fill that in. Now, something is wrong with this raw files originally, but that was from I remember I had the same trouble the first time I did. These are very old files. So you see there's some weird things here that I'm going to correct right away with a little stamp tool. I'm going to just click here, take this out, click here, take this out. Something went wrong here on the raw file. Oops. Oops, I'm doing it too much. I don't want to spend too much time on this, but you get the idea. Voila. And voila, this is basically a panoramic HDR all done in Lightroom as one super big raw file. Isn't that crazy? You should give it a try. It's really, really cool. And now, like I've been doing for the last weeks, in case you've not seen it yet, I've got this course called the Landscape Masterclass. This course, I've been working on it for over a year. It's the best course I've ever done. If you ever want to buy something from me, it's this one. If you've already seen it, you can pause the video now and do something else. But if you've not, you got to check out my best course ever, the Landscape Masterclass. Here's a very in-depth explanation of what it is.